Every story begins with a challenge. Every story in mythology, every movie, every work of literature, all stories begin when something goes terribly wrong. And when something goes terribly wrong in a story and in real life, you have two types of people. The first type is the hero, and the hero rises to the challenge. The hero doesn't know what to do. Otherwise, it wouldn't really be much of a story if the hero knew exactly what to do. The hero doesn't know what to do. But the hero tries out different things, keeps trying, keeps searching, keeps persevering, and eventually figures it out. That's the hero, right? The victim, on the other hand, doesn't try. As soon as the victim faces a challenge, the victim falls apart and needs to be rescued. The victim just says, somebody rescue me, somebody help me, somebody save me. The victim's job is to be weak, to need to be rescued, to need help. Now, you see heroes and victims in stories, you see heroes and victims and victims in life, and you see heroes and victims inside ourselves. Each of us has an inner hero, and each of us has an inner victim. Now, if we're led by that inner hero, what do we see when we see a challenge? What do we do when we see a challenge? We try to overcome that challenge. We don't know what to do. Heroes never know what to do, but we keep trying. We keep trying different things until we figure out what to do. That's what the inner hero is going to have us do. And if we follow that path, we become stronger, more persistent, more capable, right? On the other hand, if we give into the inner victim, we just say, hey, somebody help me, save me, rescue me, etc., we become weaker, we become less capable, we don't build any persistence. And so obviously we don't want to give in to the inner victim, right? We all want to be led by the inner hero, but that inner victim wants us to become victims. And so because the inner victim knows that we don't want to be a victim, we don't want to be like the inner victim is tricky. It tricks us. It tries to trick us into becoming like itself. I'm going to show you just one of the inner victim's many, many tricks so that you can recognize it when you see it trying to do this to you, fight against it, and instead try to be led by the inner hero. Let's take a look. Here's the question. Why is the new Ferrari faster? The hero tries to answer the question, knowing that he might be wrong. The hero says it's faster because it is made of a lighter alloy, has a larger engine, and has better balance. That's the hero answer, right? And what do we see? We can understand the answer. It's simple, it's understandable, it might be right, it might be wrong, but it's a real attempt. Here's what the victim says. The victim says, with respect of the acceleration torque, greater transparency determined by the engine, a complex hydration reaction enzyme alloy. Now, I mean, that's nonsense, right? Now, when you first look at the victim answer, what do you say? You'd be like, wow, that person really tried hard to answer the question. But did they really try? Is this really a try? No. This is just somebody pretending to try. This is your inner victim pretending to try so you can make a show of trying. So you can say, look, see, I tried. Now rescue me. Now save me. Look, I'm a good person. I tried. Rescue me, save me, help me, etc. Right? That's the inner victim. That's your inner victim trying to turn you into a victim. So when you're communicating in Vora Method or anywhere else, don't give into this thing where you do this big show of trying to answer a question with a bunch of nonsense big words. I mean, the sentence that I wrote literally means nothing. It doesn't mean anything at all. It's not even a sentence. Don't give into that. Instead, give a real attempt. Your attempt might be wrong. That's okay. A wrong attempt is fine. If you look at any story, what do the heroes do? The hero does a million wrong things before they figure out the right thing. Even the most basic type of story, a mystery story, the detective first goes in a lot of wrong directions before finding the right direction. That's what you do in life. That's what you do in stories. That's what you do in reality. That's what heroes do. It's victims that do this kind of nonsense. So don't give in to that victim. Give a real attempt. Now, if you're watching this video, it means you probably wrote some incomprehensible nonsense. That's okay. We all give in to the inner victim from time to time. But now I want you to fight against that. Try to give a real, direct answer and do your absolute best to write simply and clearly and directly. It's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to give a nonsense answer. Instead of giving in to that inner victim, fight that and try to be led by your inner hero.